Hey everybody, this is Doomhammer with another update. We have finished Week 10. And so let's go ahead and see some of the Week 10 game recaps. We have the Tom Brady Patriots defeating the Miami Dolphins, giving them their first loss of the year. So New England, who had a challenging start of the season, is now starting to get it in gear. And we'll see if they're able to pull off a playoff berth and maybe even more. 4 turnovers is not enough to keep the Patriots down. They move up to 6-4. Then we got the Denver Broncos defeating the Atlanta Falcons, delivering their second loss of the year. Denver ascends to 7-3. So Manning with the 1 touchdown, Bradford with 2. And so we see A.J. Green there with 100 yards receiving. Then the Seattle Seahawks trounce the Jets. They go up 7-2 on the year. Again, they were like, I forget when they had their second loss, but they lost their opener. But since then, it's been 7-1. 328 yards, 4 touchdowns, 200-yard receivers. Jets weren't able to keep up with the scoring, and we see the Jets fall to 6-3. So they're like a half game ahead of the Patriots. Oh, we already had that game. Then we'll go to the Bills versus the Rams. So the Buffalo Bills are 24 points, and the Rams have 31. Rams ascend to 8-1 on the year. Great season start for them. Andrew Luck has really turned them around. They finally hit their groove under Coach Mike McCarthy. Mikel LaShore got 100 yards rushing in that game. Then you got the Eagles easily defeating the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens fall into 2-8. Eagles 9-1. McNabb got injured in this game, and so Teddy Bridgewater filled in and looked pretty good. Pretty good. Any Curb Your Enthusiasm people. But anyway, so 21-year-old, 70 overall. He has not had many stats at all this entire season, but he gets that 265 yards there and 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Eagles fans are likely going crazy over this fantastic opportunity. So they're all happy. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if I had any sort of... I was trying to generate an AI graphic for this. Like the, Teddy Bridgewater shines after McNabb injury, random ESPN host. But, I mean, they got to work on it a little bit. It's not polished enough. So, that's not bad. But, oh my gosh, he looks like he's in, drag or something. Or, we got to work on that a little bit. But anyway, back to the game. Eagles win. Then we go to the Giants versus the Panthers. So Flacco gets 3 touchdowns in the victory over the Giants. Barkley and Smoker got to play a little bit. So Barkley had 3 interceptions, and once the game was out of control, Smoker came in. He's my journeyman quarterback. He's 33 years old, 56 overall. Found a way to team hop throughout my franchise since 2003. Raiders defeat the Chiefs. So the Chiefs were pretty high in the division. Now the division has sort of mellowed out a little bit. Denver is the front runner, and then you got Oakland, Kansas City, and San Diego trying to fight for some playoff spots. And let's take a look at the Dallas Cowboys. They get a 24-16 victory. Russell Wilson leading the way. What's really nice about the Dallas Cowboys is that they've been mediocre. They made the playoffs once in my entire franchise, and this really looks like a team that has been crafted by Mike Shanahan that is built for the long haul. So we got Russell Wilson. He's in his 3rd season, still under the rookie contract. They have Adrian Peterson, who's been the veteran since 2007. He wasn't drafted by Shanahan. But then you got the acquisition of Fitzgerald, drafting Ebron, Kenny Wright, some of their defensive acquisitions. Just step by step in order to succeed the Eagles as the top division leader in the NFC East. Eagles are still there, but once McNabb retires, it could be open season for the NFC East, and Dallas looks like they could be a front runner for many years to come, even more than the Lions and Commanders. The Bengals fall to the Steelers. This was an important game. They were tied at 4-4 apiece, but unfortunately, it was the Steelers who found a way to win. I don't say unfortunately. I guess I'm a Browns fan, but Roethlisberger with over 300 yards getting the victory for Pittsburgh. Then you got the San Diego Chargers and the Saints. I think this was the Thursday night football game. Chargers almost getting the win, but Michael Vick coming away with 3 straight victories for the Saints in his 3 starts, and 3 touchdowns there. He ran for 63 yards and a touchdown. The Chargers, who are trying to ascend in that AFC West, just keep falling into challenges like this one. Saints were a team they were supposed to beat. Then you got, I think this was Monday Night Football, was the Detroit Lions versus the Tennessee Titans. Detroit gets a field goal to win the game. Tavares Jackson did a pretty good job. He made some big throws, big touchdown passes. We see like a 63 long and a 51 long. So Denarius Moore and Greg Jennings getting involved, and Slater also getting a touchdown. But not enough. They fall 2-8 on the year. So who knows if they are technically in position to draft someone like Marcus Mariota. Now, I don't know why they don't have this in order, so that may be an adjustment there for the tool, because for some reason, Thursday night should have been here, which was, which game was the Chargers and Saints. So they're out of order a bit, but that's okay. Not a big deal. Colts get their second win of the year. They beat the Jaguars, so the Jaguars are trying to get ahead and stay in front of the division, but with this loss, they have a tighter gap between them and the Houston Texans, who are right on the heels of Jacksonville. But the Colts come away with not getting embarrassed, so they get a 24-17 win. Colt McCoy threw 4 interceptions. It was pretty rough. Nick Foles came in the fourth quarter just as like a garbage time thing. It was 24-10. He gets 100% completion rate, 77 yards and a touchdown. So we will see if Colt McCoy ends up getting replaced by Nick Foles, depending on how their season continues. So let's take a look at Colt McCoy here. So we see his stats. Stats end up being okay. I get those 12 interceptions. When we look at Nick Foles, he has just 1 touchdown. I mean, I think last season he was pretty mediocre as well. But anyway, that's the Jaguars-Colts game. Then we've got the Bears and Texans. So speaking of that gap between Jacksonville and the Texans close that gap, winning and defeating the 1-8 Bears. Bears fall to 1-9. We see Cutler coming in, playing a little bit. We will see if we replace Palmer, who was traded for with a 2nd-round pick, and he has not been playing very well. So 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, trying to turn the Bears around. Then we've got Jay Cutler, who also hasn't played very well, but maybe he needs to actually start, because I don't think I've started Jay Cutler any game. He just comes in when everyone's playing garbage. But Sanchez, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think I had Savage come in, and he threw 2 interceptions in garbage time, and that gave the Bears a chance to come back. A little scary there, but Savage proving why he's not a future quarterback for any team. Then you got the Vikings defeating the Commanders. Commanders falling to 1-8. They have Johnny Manziel, and he had a decent performance there, but not enough to really win. That's where Manziel's season. Let's see, how has he actually been playing? He's 8-5. Actually, his stats don't look that bad in the number of games he's actually played, which is he's only played. Let's see. Okay, so maybe it's the last 4 games he's started, and I think these were some garbage time playing, because Trent Edwards seems like he started the first 5 weeks, right? Okay. Yep, that makes sense. So Edwards was the starter for the first 5 weeks, only winning 1 game. Manziel has yet to win a game, so we'll see if that continues, and if that puts Commanders going for someone like Leonard Williams or someone like that in the draft, because they're going to be picking probably number 2 or top 5. So just scrolling through some of these top performers. I don't know if I have to read them to you, but top rookies, Derek Carr. He's having a pretty good season. I think he has a chance to turn around. Bridgewater is the highlight. Bridgewater is the one that really came out of nowhere, getting that win and 4 touchdown passes. Not bad for a rookie debut. And then disappointment. Palmer's a disappointment. Calvin, he only had 1 catch. Yeah, Calvin Johnson Jr. not doing well with the Dolphins when they fell to the Patriots. Maybe that's the reason why they lost. And then we got, tough loss there, losing Walker for Pittsburgh, losing Merriweather. Pittsburgh does have a good job of, I got them, I don't know why tight ends, they're not showing all of them. But Jared Cook is their backup tight end, so they have 2 really good tight ends. But Chris Chester, center for the Patriots, is out. And then, let's see, I did some contracts there, so I moved Savage down, because I think who got injured from the Texans? When Stephen Hill got injured, I think I signed a receiver because they're having trouble with fielding a team with receivers. So Savage went down. We got rid of the free agent. That's what happens in this in these mods, is that free agent is a filler, because otherwise the game may not work. Colston is the one that was signed to the Houston Texans because of that injury, and then we re-signed Talib for the Vikings. So let's look at some of these standings here. So we got the Miami Dolphins 9-1. They're pretty in positive position there for the East. However, Patriots are on a tear, and so we'll see if that stays. Then you got Buffalo, bottom of the division. We've got Pittsburgh Steelers, 1 game ahead, and that's because they beat the Bengals last week. Browns are ahead of the Ravens. Ravens have been garbage in my franchise, other than the beginning 2002 to like 2006 when they had Mark Bolger. And then you got the Jaguars and Houston. Now both the Titans and Colts are at 2 wins, so that's good for them. Denver Broncos 7-3. Oakland, San Diego, and Kansas City, kind of like they're trying to get into the playoffs, but right now it looks like the AFC East is what's locking up some of these playoff spots. And then Houston and Jacksonville fighting for it. Then when we look at the NFC, Eagles obviously are front-runner team. Could go to the Super Bowl again. They've always been a contender. Dallas 7-3. They seem to be a solid lock for the fifth seed between them and Seattle. I guess maybe 5th and 6th right there. And then we look at who's on the hot seat. So like right now, Marty Morningway. I do like this graphic. I think it's pretty good. They did a good job with Manziel's face. Marty Morningway has been the Commanders' coach for multiple seasons. I think they made it the playoffs once, I believe. So he is on the hot seat. They drafted Johnny Manziel, hoping to be the franchise savior. But here they are, sitting at 1-8. So we see he's definitely on the hot seat, and he's likely going to be fired. And then the Giants are 4-5, which is not a bad record, but we have Jim Caldwell, who's been the coach for multiple seasons. They've had some down years, they had some decent years, but they've been mediocre, and I think that a market like New York is going to have a shorter fuse or shorter tolerance for losing. So Matt Barkley, being their quarterback, has been okay. He might be their quarterback moving forward, but I don't know if Jim Caldwell is going to be the head coach moving forward. So he is definitely on the hot seat. When we look at the NFC North, we've got the Lions, who are 2 games ahead of the Vikings. Vikings just 2 games behind. Detroit is on a 5-game win streak. They were 1-4. Now they're 6-4. Green Bay 2-7. Jeep Christ could be on the hot seat. I didn't generate an image for him, but this is his first year, and now he's no longer the bottom of the league or winless. He is, I don't want to say competitive. He's got 2 wins, which is more than 1 win. And speaking of the 1-win team, the Chicago Bears, they are on an 8-game losing streak. And we look at Bruce Arians, major blame pointer right there. He's tried it with Jason Campbell. They traded him away to Oakland, got a pick from it, traded for Carson Palmer. He's there number 9. And no, I did not plan for the graphic to have Cutler 6 and and Palmer's 9 to be in this order, so that 69 is right there. I find it to be very amusing, but I understand it. It was not planned. But anyway, there's Jay Cutler, there's Carson Palmer fighting for any sort of life here for the Chicago Bears. They've got talent, but they're just not winning, and they're at the bottom of the league. They are a contender for Jameis Winston. He could be the number 1 pick, and the number 1 pick could go to Chicago. Then we look at the NFC South. We see the Atlanta Falcons 8-2, the Carolina Panthers 5-4. Now Tampa Bay is on the hot seat as well. They're 3-6. So the Buccaneers have Ron Rivera, who's been struggling for many, many years, and Blaine Gabbert, their quarterback. And so we could possibly see a change here, because even though he's made a Super Bowl, they missed the playoffs last year, and they're looking to be missing the playoffs again this year too. Now, the New Orleans Saints are on a 3-game win streak, and that's largely due to Pat Shurmur, their head coach, deciding to bench Geno Smith, he's there in the blurred background, for veteran Michael Vick. Michael Vick has been coming up with great plays for them. He is winning games for them, defeating like the Chargers. I don't know if I can go here and see. Yeah, okay. Let's go to their schedule. So we look at these last 3 games. It's the Saints versus defeating the Buccaneers, defeating the Raiders, defeating the Chargers. That's what you want to see from your team, and Pat Shurmur has been doing that with Michael Vick. So those are the main hot seat coaches. As I'm going through some of them, then we look at the West. We got Rams 8-1, Seattle 7-2, and then Arizona 6-3. So they're right there, the Super Bowl defending champions. And then the 49ers are just having an abysmal year. Breeze is not having a good time. They're on a 4-game losing streak. So they could even be a prime candidate to move for Marcus Mariota as sort of a replacement for Drew Brees. Maybe they stick with Breeze's I don't know what Breeze's contract is. Let's go check it out since this is the last team. I don't really care. We probably want finances. Okay, Breeze could be let go at the end of the year. They could let him go, test free agency. You're probably not wanting to keep your aging 36-year-old head coach. And then let's see. Let's go to stats now. But anyway, so they could be a new landing spot for a quarterback. So we got Cam Newton, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Matt Ryan, and Rodgers, top 5. Touchdown leaders, Rodgers, Manning, and Jackson, now 27. But Manning is doing really well with not throwing interceptions of all the top quarterbacks that throwing touchdowns. Sanchez leads league. Barkley right behind him, tied with Brady. Then we got Bradshaw, Matthews, Charles, and Richardson, probably because of the bye weeks. That's why some people are up. Terrell Pryor, top 10, top 8 rusher. Matt Forte leading the league in touchdowns. Calvin Johnson Jr., despite having 8 yards last game, he is still ahead of everybody in receiving. And then you got Julio, Holmes, Green, and Wallace, all expected there. Then we got Holmes, Johnson, Gordon, Jennings, and Demaryius Thomas. Mr. Drops a Lot is Donnie Avery. And then we got tackles, Gerard Mayo, Ernie Sims, Cushing, McCarthy, and Michael Kendricks. Interesting logo they replaced for the Jets there. You can't barely see it. Bruce Irvin, he got 10 solo sacks. Then it's Timmons, Mack, Brown, and Matthews. I think Mack is one of the leaders for the award. Clowney's now starting to get some sacks. That's good for the number 1 pick. Demario Davis is joined by Leotis McKelvin for interception leader. And then kicker, I don't know if anyone cares about that. Rankings, I don't know if how they sort these anymore. But, yeah, these are the rankings. Let's see, QB rankings. Manziel 35. Smith number 1. I don't know what they're using for, is it their stats? I don't know how they're formulating the grade. It's cool. I like it. No, it's not overall. Because if it were overall... Yeah, Pryor's higher overall. But performance is coming from some other people. Like RG3, he's 88. What's Pryor? He's 86. Oh, maybe not. Is it all overall? 81. Anyway, so these are rankings. I don't know. I have to see how they are. It's view detailed. So it's probably a mix of their overalls and their stats and like X factors and stuff like that. But yeah, so the playoff picture right now is looking neat. You got the Eagles and the Dolphins likely with the bye week. Then you've got the Broncos taking on the Houston Texans. You got the Rams taking on the Cardinals. You got the Steelers taking on New England. That'll be a tough first-round matchup. You got the Falcons taking on Dallas. So Manning versus Wilson. Then you got the Jaguars taking on the Jets. And the Lions taking on Seattle. So thanks for watching the video. And hope you like and subscribe. More Madden content coming up. I might try to get some more gameplay out there. Just, let me know if you like gameplay. I'll try to get more games edited and sent out. But thanks for watching and hope to see you in a future video.